Hey YouTubers, you got a late model Honda Foreman Rubicon and monster tires and are tired of getting mud flung all over you? Well, in this video I'm going to show you how to fix that with a set of aftermarket fender flares. So in the kit you get all the hardware you need to install it, nice little set of one-page instructions. We'll see how useful those are. And you get your 4 fender flares. The fender flares sit inside the fenders, and they look to me like they line up really well. We'll see how it works out, but I mean, look how much more wheel coverage you get with these fender flares. And that's just the fronts. It's definitely going to cover with this offset, no problem at all. The rear offset, it's not going to quite cover all of it, but it's definitely going to help out a whole lot. That adds another 3 inches of tire clearance, and if I was only running 10-inch wide tires in the back, I bet it would cover it all. But I'm not doing away with the wider stance on this bike because I want the extra stability from having the wider stance. I'm actually ordered the wider offset rims for the front. They'll be here next week, and I'll be taking these tires off and put them on the other rims to make the front even wider as well, so it's even more stable. But anyhow, we're going to see what all I got to do to get these installed. Number one, I got to get all this mud out from underneath it. That's going to be a chore in itself. But looks to me like the way these work out is you've got some factory little push deals on it, and that helps to index it in place. And the way it's molded, it fits, looks like perfectly with the body lines. I think it's going to work out really, really well. Alright, so the first step in the instructions is to remove these factory push lock deals. So you're just going to have to take a small screwdriver, and there's a slit on them. Just going to gently pull that out and then work it out of it. So we're going to do that here, this one in the front and this one right here. So it uses these nice Phillips head black anodized bolts and lock nuts to install. Okay, so first step on your installation, once you've removed your little push pin deals, place the fender flare into place, and with the supplied bolts and hardware, slide them in to the existing holes, put the nut on the back. Now do the same thing on the front hole. Screw them down finger tight, and that holds it in place really well. Now we're going to be able to drill the holes in it, the rest of the fender, to mount the rest of the bolts on it. The instructions call for a 1/4 inch drive or a 1/4 inch diameter drill bit to drill the holes in, and we just repeat that on all the remaining holes in the deal. But the those 2 bolts there keep it in place well, so you're not having to use vice grips or anything like that to be able to hold it in place to drill your holes. And you just use the fender flare as a template to drill your holes. We're just going to locate one of the holes here. You can get around all this mud here. Put the drill bit on there. Try to keep it as parallel or perpendicular, however you want to call it. Hold your fender flare in place, and just slowly drill your hole. I'm going to push in on it a little bit. Alright, for our hardware here, and put the nut on the back side. Now I'm going to go and actually tighten these up as I go along to help hold the pieces together. That way when I'm drilling on the inside, it doesn't push the fender away bad, and hopefully I won't get any misaligned holes while I'm drilling this out. To tighten the screws and bolts up, you're going to need a 10mm wrench. That'll go for your nut on the inside, and a Phillips screwdriver or Phillips screw gun. If you're using a screw gun, be careful. Don't just go hog wild with the screw gun. Especially if you're using one of these impact guns like I am. And this thing looks good already. Now we've got 4 more screw holes to do. Luckily there's plenty of room in here. And of course, make sure you don't screw or drive your drill bit all the way into your hand, because that would really ruin your day. Now we got the rest of them drilled out. Let's install the hardware. Solid. And that's completely installed and done. At least with that one. Alright, now we're reset up to the back side. We've got our one hole here. Unfortunately in the back here we only have one factory hole to go off of. So that may make it a little bit more challenging. Install our bolt. Now, I'm going to go to this back one next. But this thing's been drilling really easily. This whole project's been going really smooth, so I think it should be okay. I know, famous last words, right? We're just going to hold it in place, get our drill lined up, make sure our fender flare is tucked up where we want it, okay, and just drill. Make sure we're straight. Make sure you hold it in place good, because if you can drill this thing wrong, you're going to have an extra hole in it you don't want. Or, worse, you're just going to screw your plastics up completely. I don't really think it's a big deal to do at all, but, you know, if you're not, you know, good with your hands or mechanically inclined, I wouldn't suggest you do this. You know, find one of your buddies or something that's real mechanically inclined and have him do it. Or, you know, if you're in the Southern California area, send me a message, I'll do it for you for a small fee. Tighten that one up. Now, fender flare doesn't quite match up. It's tight here, we're tight here, but we're not tight here in the middle. I guess it would have helped if I would clean this thing off a little better. So when we drill, let's see, how many more holes we got here? We got one. That's it? No, two. Alright, so I'm going to do this one here in the middle first, and I'm going to push up real hard on it when I do it. That way it'll pull the fender flare up as tight as possible when we bolt this thing together. It worked out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Alrighty, so I'm just going to repeat the charge for all the rest of the holes. I want to drill this far one first. That way I know it's going to stay in line. Tell you what, this thing is going to help out immensely. Especially this part hanging down here that'll keep some of that mud from flinging up on top of me, like you can see in one of my other videos. Go ahead and click that eye up there if you're interested. Or just wait and watch it after I'm done. There she is. Alright. All installed, all tight. Man, looks like a factory piece even though it's aftermarket. So there you go. There's this one whole side installed. I mean, and what a difference from that to that. I mean, way more tire coverage. That's definitely going to help keep the mud off, and especially here in the back. I mean, look how much farther that fender flare comes down. And the other thing I really like about it is it kind of gives it that old school Foreman look with the colored fender and the black fender flare. Kind of gives it that old style Foreman look. I really like that, and it still has wild, crazy lines on it, so it looks like more of a hot rod bike and everything. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, the only problem I might see down the road is this here by the exhaust might get a little hot, and if you have a big resonator or something here, you might possibly have an issue with it getting hot right here, but I doubt it. But anyhow, and that looks good. I like it. I like it a lot. And before I post this video, I'll be putting the other rims on the front so you guys can see the difference. But from that to that, and that's just killer. I like it. It looks really, really good. Really, really happy with that. Anyhow, so I'm going to go ahead and install the other side, and once I'm done, we'll give you guys a final view. And the kit actually has the exact right amount of bolts. That's nice. It actually has a few extras. I don't even know what they're for. So it actually came, I wanted to show you that. It came with 2 extra bolts and 2 extra nuts. These are the nuts it's using to mount it all the way around. They're just self-locking nylocks. So, I mean, I don't think they're ever going to come out, but just in case they do, I'm going to save these, just put them in the compartment. And it also, I'm going to save my leftover hardware, the factory hardware push pins, just in case one of the other ones break at some point later on down the road. I'll have them, and it won't be such a big deal. I won't have to go buy them. But yeah, they fit nicely. What do you guys think? I think it looks freaking awesome. The nice factory look, really nice tire coverage. I said if you ran a 2.5 offset all the way around, you would be completely covered even with these massive tires on it. Now, I'm not going to be completely covered, but it's definitely going to help a whole lot. Can't wait to go try it out. Man, what a difference that makes. And this kit's only like, I think, $200. And I mean, it came together really nice. Bolted in good. Worked out. Real easy to install. And yeah, I mean, that worked out well. I'm really happy with it. Well, anyhow, as soon as the front rims come in and I get those swapped out, we'll show you what those look like. And I'll also put these rims on the back as well, so you can see what they would look like with a standard size tire. I mean, I guess standard-ish. Those are 10-inch wide by 26 in the front. They're 12-inch by 26 in the rear. They've got a 2.5 offset in the rear and a 5.2 offset in the front right now, but I'm going to go with a 2.5 offset all the way around, so I get the maximum width and stability advantage. That way I can really sling this thing around corners and not have to worry about it. I might even go to a 12-inch wide tire in the front. I don't know yet. That's installing your aftermarket fender flares on a 2015 Honda Foreman Rubicon. It's easy as that.